Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brewster Tizzy here, and I'm bringing you something new here. It's still part of the Santa Fe Scorpions Dynasty, but um, this is gonna be like kind of almost like a look around the whole entire place. I'm calling it like a look around the nation, because like I'm just looking around like at the stats and like polls, and also I'll be showing you guys the recruiting. So no game in this episode, but this will just basically be a type of like kind of mini series that will inform you on like all the stats and stuff that goes along that I don't show you. So yeah, let's get into this. Alrighty, so to start it off, I will show you the top 25 polls, and this is the ESPN one. Obviously the BCS rankings haven't come out. They'll come out later towards the end of the season. Alrighty, to start it off, we have Ohio State at number 1 here, and I'm not so sure what team they beat. I don't know, they might just be like really good and have a 3-0 record, but I think they might be a really good team. I want to say Michigan State, but I'm not so sure. But yeah, they're 3-0 and they're really good. And then at number 2, we have Stanford, and they only have a 1-0 record, so I don't know how you can be number 2 ranked in the country and have a 1-0 record, but hey, Stanford, I guess, is good. So at 3, we have South Carolina here, and they beat number 22 Vandy last week. That was a good win by them. At 4, we have Oregon and Alabama. I showed you guys earlier, I think it was the first episode or the first week. I showed you guys that Bama got like crushed by Virginia Tech, so that's why they were at, I think they were like at 10, and last week they were at 9, and now they're at 6 after winning against I think, yeah, so they won against number 10 ranked Texas A&M, but if you look down here, Texas A&M was ranked number 3 last week, so they basically beat number 3 Texas A&M, and they beat them by like a huge margin, 48-17. So that was a really good win by them. I'm just gonna show you a few more noticeable things here. Yeah, Virginia Tech, as I said earlier too, they beat Bama, which was number 1 at the time, and they're now at 17. Northern Illinois, we played earlier in the season, is ranked all the way at 18 now. Texas, I think, was ranked really high. I'm not so sure, but I think they had a really bad loss some game. And yeah, really, that's about it. I mean, Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin should be higher, but they're 3-0 and they're ranked 24. They were unranked last week, but that's about it for the top 25 polls. Here is the Heisman Watch, and here we have DJ Quinn, who's the QB of Texas A&M. Then number 2, we have Andy Bernard, who's the QB of Bama. Then at 3, we have Brad Davis, who's the QB of Oregon. Then we have a Kansas State player who's 4th in Heisman. That's pretty crazy, but Bobby McQueen is 4th, and the QB for Ohio State, Charles Price, is 5th. This is the players of the week, and I'm going to start off on week 1. And here on defense, we had Eric Everson from Central Florida. He had 3 interceptions and 2 tackles. That's pretty big. But it was against the Akron Zips, though, so that's not all too... That's a horrible team, but whatever. And then we have Marcus McGill, the QB for Missouri, and he had 6 total touchdowns and 64 yards, or 64 rushing yards and 271 passing yards. That's pretty crazy. But yet again, it was against the FCS team, so not much talent there. And as you see here, Johnny Morris made it. I didn't even know that. Oh my god. I never even looked at these, so that's funny. I didn't even look. But the player of the week on defense is Calvin Hicks from USC, and he had 6 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, and he had 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries. That is crazy. And then obviously we have here Johnny Morris, who had, as you can recall from the video, a really crazy game, but 180 passing yards and 135 rushing yards with 7 total touchdowns. That was crazy. But then at week 3, we have on defense, left outside linebacker from Buffalo. He had 6 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. And on offense, we have a wide receiver from Ball State, and he had 356 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Oh my god. They play against Army, but that's insane. 356 catching yards and 5 touchdowns. That's crazy stuff. Alrighty guys, here I'll show you the current stats on the season so far. And for passing, we have the QB from Ball State. He has 977 yards. And as you just saw right before this, that wide receiver had 356 passing yards. So a lot of that went into him being the #1 passing leader. But we have number 2, it looks like QB from Washington State with 943. Then right below him at 3 is a QB from Arkansas with 939 passing yards. And the rest is rest, but Johnny Morris is 98th with 344 passing yards, so not too good. And here we have rushing yards, and look who's at number 2, Lavelle Evans with 394 yards. So he's just only 13 yards shy of the top of the rushing leaders, so that's pretty good to see. And here we have receiving leaders, and this wide receiver, Dunlap from Army, has 455 receiving yards. That's pretty crazy. It's not showing that Ball State guy in the top 5. I thought he would be on the top 5, but looks like he had like really bad performances except that one crazy game, so that's kind of odd. But our leading wide receiver, Bernard Smith, only has 136 yards, so not too good there. And at tackles, Rashawn Woods is blowing away everyone at number 1 with 27 solo tackles, so that's always good to see. And Titus D'Angelo is also at number 4 here with 17 solo tackles, so it's pretty crazy that 2 of our players are in the top 5 for tackle leaders. Alrighty guys, this is probably what you've been waiting for a long time. I'm finally going to show you my recruiting board and the top prospects and stuff like that, so let's get into this. To start things off, I just want to quickly show you my pipeline states before we get into my recruiting board. We have actually a lot of pipeline states. I don't even know how, but it's we have a lot of prospects like evenly matched or spaced out across the country, I should say. But we have Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Florida, and Indiana. So it looks like we have a lot of players from that like Midwest North region, kind of like around Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana. So that's kind of interesting to see. And really quick, I'm going to show you the top prospects in this class. And obviously I'm not going to be chasing any of these top prospects because they definitely will not choose me. But this guy right here, hold on, let me find him. He's a second ranked prospect, and he runs a 4.32, and he's an athlete, so I can't even imagine what his speed is going to be like. So if he had like decent throwing accuracy and throw power for a QB, that would be insane. He would have like around like 97 like speed along with that. And then right here also there's a person with 4.28 speed, so pretty crazy to see that. Alrighty, so here is my recruit board, and I actually have somewhat of a high overall players. on this list, but mostly are like kind of like upper 60s, lower 70s. But anyways, getting into this. Right here, I started chasing this guy last week, Travis Robertson. He is an athlete from Salida, Colorado. He's a 4-star athlete too. So, alrighty. So here is a look at his stats. And the thing that really impresses me about him is he can play tons of skill positions. Like, he can play wide receiver because he has 93 speed, 74 catching, 74 spec catch, 76 catch in traffic, and 80 route running, and also 80 release too. But he can play corner. He has 93 speed, 85 zone, and 82 man. And the position that I would be really excited or like most likely to try him out at is QB. He has 93 speed, which would be insane for a QB. And then he has 79 throw power and 80 throw accuracy to go along with that, along with 92 carrying. So he's really good and he at carrying, so he would not fumble the ball at all. So I would probably put him at QB if we ever got him, but we're obviously pretty far behind in the race. But this guy can play almost any position you want him to play. He could even play some running back too. I mean, he doesn't have that great strength, but I mean, you could always put him as a speed back. And I just want to show you, like I said just a bit ago, that I just noticed him. I was looking through like the players that were least like locked in percentage wise, and I found this guy and I offered him a scholarship and tons of points. And by the way, we are the only ones to offer Travis Robertson a scholarship, and we gained 215 points on the lead, so that's pretty good. And we're only 560 points behind, so we can try and make a catch up this whole entire season if we keep on attacking him aggressively. Here is my second prospect, Brandon McKeon. He isn't that high on my list. Well, he is obviously high on my list, but like not favorite wise. I don't really exactly like him, but I'm just offering him a lot of points because I obviously just want a good overall player no matter what on this team. But he does he is 6'5", and he's from Michigan too, which is one of our pipeline states. So okay, so here's a look at his stats. He isn't that impressive as Travis Robertson, but the only like position I can really like think of putting him at is either running back or wide receiver, because he does have 89 speed and 75 trucking, but at the same time would be really awkward to put him at running back because he is 6'5", so that would be a huge like monster at running back. But I'd most likely put him at wide receiver. He has 73 catching, 74 spec, and 73 catch in traffic. So I'm not too high on him, but I mean, I'm just trying to attack him just solely because he is a 77 overall, and we are only 165 points away from him, so that would be good. Now here is probably my second favorite prospect beside Travis Robertson, Mark Foster. He is a corner, 75 overall. He is 6'1", and he is a 4-star player, so that would be amazing for us to get. But he is from Ohio, which is one of our pipeline states again. And yeah, we're currently in the lead for him, even though it's a tight race between Minnesota and Vandy, and even Marshall is actually in somewhat of the consideration of him. But if we land Mark Foster here, that would be huge for us. And it looks like he wants to play for us as we're in the lead for him. But yeah, that would be great if we landed Mark Foster. Here's a look at his stats, and like I said earlier, he's a 75. He has 90 speed, 86 man, and 87 zone. Another corner that is very high on my list is Marlon Keys. He is a 6'2" corner and a 3-star prospect, but One of our scouts from our scouting team has scouted him in real life and went over to Arizona to see and film a football game of his. So I'll show you some of his film. But yeah, I'll show you that film after we go through the rest of the recruiting board, and I'll show you some other players' films too as well. So that will be a good way to really see what these players are made out of. One of the few offensive linemen I've been targeting is Pat Huff. He is a tackle from New Mexico. So once again, that's another prospect we can get from New Mexico to help out New Mexico to become a pipeline state. But he is a 3-star prospect, and we have a huge lead on him. And here is another offensive lineman, Eric Taylor. He is a center from Douglas, Arizona, and we just barely have a lead on him. We are just above 5 points on him. I think here is our only QB prospect that we're like targeting to get. This is Udalane Barrett from Craig, Colorado. He is a 3-star prospect, and we do have a lead on him, and it's a pretty big lead too. So that's pretty good to see. These are his stats real quick, and nothing is eye-popping really except his throw power, which is an 84, which is really good, and he has decent speed to go along with it. And one of the things I've noticed too, looking at stats, is he has 74 breaking tackle and 74 elusiveness, so that will be really good. But at the same time, he does have 56 carrying, so I don't know about running around with him, but he is probably one of those players that you could just sign and then redshirt him for a freshman year, then develop over time. So I like Udalane Barrett here. Here is another prospect that our scouting team got film on, Jalen Moss. He is a 6'3" wide receiver out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, so very close to home. And we have a pretty big lead on him. So I'll be pretty excited to show you guys what Jalen Moss is capable of in games. And here is another prospect that we got film on, Obadiah Mbainfu. He is a defensive end from Prescott, Arizona. We currently do have the lead on him, so once again, we'll probably be getting him unless something crazy happens. But both Obadiah Mbainfu and Jalen Moss look very good. Then towards the bottom of our list here, we have Brian Williams. He is a tight end out of Tallulah, Louisiana. And we currently are just edging out Texas right now for the lead on him. So that is mainly the biggest targets I have, or mainly like the biggest targets and leads I have on my recruiting board. I'm sure things will change up a lot more next time I do one of these episodes, because I'm planning to do them either every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks of these college football games. But if you guys like these a lot and support these, I mean, I'll try to do them every single week of college football. But like I said earlier, I will be showing you the films of Jalen Moss, Marlon Keys, and Obadiah Mbainfu. So here we go into them. And here we will have a look at Jalen Moss. And he is a 6'3" wide receiver out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. He is a very talented wide receiver. Jalen Moss is very good at catching the ball. He's more of a possession wide receiver, although he can go up and get it. Sometimes he'll show that acceleration burst on you too as well. So he's definitely capable of making down the field plays, and he's obviously a lot more of a down the field wide receiver than a slot wide receiver or one of those flashy wide receivers that beats everyone in coverage and jukes them out and all this stuff. But Moss will definitely be a great wide receiver if you have a good accurate QB and have him running routes. He is a very good wide receiver, and I would be very excited if we got him. Now we'll have a look at Marlon Keys. He is a 6'2 corner out of Tucson, Arizona, and he is a very tall corner, and he is a very good corner at the same time too. He's more of a man-to-man corner, not really that great at zone nor at speed, but he is definitely one of those almost like Richard Sherman type of corners. Great at man-to-man, not good at speed, not good at zone, but like I said, his main strength is that tackling support he gives. So that is a very key and good attribute for corners to have. But yeah, that about does it for Marlon Keys here. And our last prospect that I will be showing you guys here is Obadiah Mbanefu. He is a defensive end out of Prescott, Arizona. And he is a very strong defensive end, and he's also tall, I believe. I think he's 6'6", I want to say. So he's a big defensive end with good strength, and obviously he's not going to be a speed rusher if he has good strength, but he is very good at pass rushing, but not mainly a run supporter. He has his weakness there where he can't exactly get off blocks that easy when they run it, but during pass rush he's able to use his very long arms and use that to advantage to get off blocks while pass rushing. And he's so tall and big that it makes it hard for offensive tackles to stop him. But once again, like I said, he'll need to work on that run support if he wants to make it into the next level. But that about does it for Obadiah Mbanefu. Alrighty guys, so that will do it for A Look Around the Nation episode 1. I'm gonna be trying to pump out more videos. I just finally got done with school and the finals, so I should be able to have more time. So I'm expecting to make a lot more videos. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys like this. If you have any suggestions or like things that you want to see or change or something like that, or if this was good at all, just comment down below. But yeah, I would love the feedback, and if you guys could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it too. So I guess I'll see you next week in week 4 against ECU. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.